It's not clear what may have been taken, and no arrests have been made.
A 71-year-old man is accused of inappropriately touching a 12-year-old girl at the Walmart in West Mifflin Sunday afternoon.
Boom.
Hey, welcome back to SK Podcast. You're looking at Kimberly Steinbrink right here, and we got over here.
And Rosario Stephen.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for coming
I
back.
am not the 71-year-old man
Better not be.
that they were.
We have some splaining.
No,
to
they
do.
had picture ID of that man.
I know.
Oh,
I'm like, where is he wrong though? Where are they wrong? Okay, I'm just saying.
I think they know they were right. You saw the dude anchor. The dude anchor's like,
What?
we can't be putting that much truth out there.
No. Somebody's gonna get fired today.
Dude, that was so. I can't believe that
It's
happened.
that was definitely a Ron Burgundy moment, guys. Somebody had it in for that lady or something. I don't know.
Yes.
Anyways, well, glad you came back to see us. It's been a little bit of
Delay.
time, a little
Mhm.
bit of delay. You know,
Yeah.
every once in a while, life catches up, but we are back at it. Crazy stuff. It always seems like every time
And
it
it's-
just builds and
I
builds and
know,
builds. There's something else going
The
on.
information is coming at you like full steam, baby. I mean, you got both sides of the propaganda war just going at you.
I
And it's
know.
like, well, what do we we got to swim through the truth is what it is. We got we got to swim through the propaganda and find the truth.
Find the truth. It's
you know,
hard to find the truth.
it is a job to study and research. It is. It's work. It's
Yeah.
actual work. And that's what we haven't been doing 100% of the time because we got to do our work that generates an income. So-
Exactly. And we
but
got to
we
make
are
more money
working.
now because we can hardly even drive anywhere. So,
Right.
you
But-
know, they're
we're still working on that research thing. And I mean, we got some stuff for you today. Like we do. And I'm sorry, I just stole the. Yeah.
what
You
you
go on,
stole? You
tell it.
stole our theme for today.
Yeah, that's it. They were going to find it out anyway.
Yeah. So I mean, of course, we're gonna switch. You know, we had the riots. And Biden's
that
got to
tell
get
the
in there, and they had to
truth?
fortify that election, and then whoop, got to move to COVID, got to mask up, got to vaccinate, and then whoop, distraction, got to move.
One picture tells the story, doesn't
It
it?
really, really does. This is
I mean, if that meme right there, if that doesn't describe the past year, year and a half,
yeah.
then I don't know what does. I mean, that is what we're looking at.
This is it. This is it. As long as we can focus and not be those little normie robots that are just going going along. Stay awake, guys. It's
And
going to be
they-
harder and harder to stay awake. Even with this new thing that they're pointing at, so many people, I think, they have a way to switch back around. But I mean, it's catching a lot of people off guard, and a lot of people are not knowing because now the information we get, we think is true, and then like the next day it's proven that it's false. So it's hard to know. I mean, that's why even today, the stuff that we're going to talk about, guys, this is as we know of today.
Yeah.
Some things we can tell you for certain, maybe, and some things we may have to research a little
Yeah.
more. We're basically
Well,
asking questions a lot today.
And there's such thing as an educated guess. I mean, a lot of stuff we might you might find out is wrong, 3 days later. But the job is to continue to keep looking at it, and with the newfound knowledge that you have, you piece that with the other knowledge that you have, you come up with an educated guess, and that's what I think a lot of the truthers out there are doing. They're coming, but one thing that they are doing is they are searching. We're knocking. We're seeking out the truth because we know that we're being attacked with lies.
Yeah.
Everybody, and I'm not saying like it looks like one side is doing a little bit more lying than the other, but
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
That
and
that
this from day one of this new conflict, it has literally been, left and right, left and right.
I wanted to get to that point. That meme you had up there. I mean, it's literally like they took the summer of riots. They took the race, put it at us.
Gotta
Then they
vote
put
Biden.
Yeah, there could have been some bad hombres in the police department, but there also could have been some bad hombres in the Antifa department. I mean, you just boom, they put it out there, and then here comes the COVID, and that's the big one. We're still fighting with that. Everybody just forgot about old COVID.
Yeah.
They shut up, silence, nothing. No, we got to talk about Ukraine.
Yes.
I mean, it's like you can see their agenda playing out with every single thing they put in the forefront.
Right.
Like, and when you start piecing them together, which is what I think is happening behind the scenes, and us, we're learning, and we're making some pretty solid, educated guesses on where this thing's going right now and what it's gonna evolve into.
Yeah.
I think.
And some, a way to kind of shed some light on these things. Now, this is a trailer from Oliver Stone, and this was made back in 2016.
Yeah.
This trailer is going to make you think,
Uh-huh.
and I will post in the description the actual movie because I think he wanted to get this out there at that time to let everybody know what was going on. And it's just so funny how history, it doesn't always repeat itself, but it always rhymes. It usually does rhyme, and it's rhyming right
Dates
now.
are important, guys. I mean, today we're actually going to show you a couple of things where dates are important.
Yeah.
We gotta retain some memory on some things that have happened in this past decade,
Yeah.
2012 to 2022. Like you hold on to that, and thank God for the internet, because we can hold on to it. We can look it up right now. Thank God, right now we can. So
While we
man,
still can.
this movie. So 2016. Nobody's expecting anything that was going to happen, so
Yeah, it's definitely not right now.
it
Alright.
sheds some light. So check this out.
More clashes in Ukraine's capital, Kiev.
What we saw here today was a revolution.
I'm an outsider to this situation, but I would like to jump into the action.
In recent days, Kiev has turned into a full-scale war zone.
События, которые проходили в тот период. Сначала акции проходили мирно. Замечены нами радикалы, которые относились к правым партиям, неофашистским организациям.
В том, чтобы посеять хаос.
Создавалось такое впечатление, что в посольстве Соединенных Штатов существует штаб, который управляет этим процессом.
Who was your highest level of contact with the U.S. government in this period?
Байденом, вице-президентом. Но дело в том, что господин Байден говорил одно, а в Украине делали другое.
Questions of credibility are being raised after a private chat between two top U.S. diplomats was leaked online.
So you had this remarkable phone call where you have these two senior officials of the U.S. government apparently talking about a coup or how they were planning to restructure the government of Ukraine.
Сценарий захвата власти и государственного переворота.
We saw in the 1980s, the Central Intelligence Agency had been largely discredited because of scandals that had been exposed in the 1970s. They still want to get rid of certain governments. They wanted regime change in Syria, for instance, regime change in Iran. And they have a lot of allies now inside the news media, inside the government, and that means that they can do a lot to control the narrative, and it works with the American people.
NATO has expanded into 13 countries.
Почему мы так остро реагируем на расширение НАТО? Когда страна становится членом НАТО, ей уже очень трудно сопротивляться давлению со стороны такой крупной страны, лидера НАТО, как США. И там легко может появиться все, что угодно. Система противоракетной обороны, и новые базы, и, если потребуется, и новые ударные комплексы. А нам что делать?
The United States is imposing new sanctions in key sectors of the Russian economy.
After the third wave of sanctions hit Russia,
the tensions between the two countries skyrocketed. So the question presents itself: are we truly witnessing the beginning of Cold War 2.0?
Huh?
That'll leave you thinking right there.
Huh?
And you would have thought that he was talking about what's happening right now. There's so many things and people that are involved. Even a name that's come out recently talking about what? Biolabs?
Yeah, man. Yeah. If y'all didn't know who that lady was with the gray hair, that is Victoria Newland. And we're learning her name, in recent news.
And she's actually the under deputy
yeah.
to the Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken.
Okay. So that's what I'm saying. Blink and you miss her. Like we wouldn't know who that lady is if truth wasn't coming out like it is.
Right.
But she was asked in front of the Senate, and we actually, I don't know if we have that clip or not, but she was asked in front of the Senate. I don't know who asked it. I'd like to find out the senator that asked it, because for weeks we've been having
Marco Rubio.
Okay. Man, I'm talking about she is up on it, man. That's why she is Kimbo,
you help me
producer
find these
lady.
things too. It's a partnership.
That's right. But kind of not balanced. She'd be pulling a lot of weight. But so right there, and she got her pen, she's fidgeting, and she's watching how she says this next phrase. Man, you can see I'm not a body language expert, but you ain't gotta be no expert to be like, she looked like she might be scared to say something.
Yeah.
But-
She was definitely looking a little guilty there and
Yeah.
a little hush hush. And I mean, if it was not nefarious, you shouldn't be that way, which is the whole reason we're not trying to point out people's gestures and people's thing. Go, ooh, look.
Yeah.
But body language can tell you so much. And I mean, sometimes you just got to, because there's so much things you don't know if it's the truth or not, you have to go by that kind of stuff, because apparently she is involved in a lot of the stuff that was going down at the time that was in that trailer.
Deeply involved.
Yeah.
If she got pictured just in the trailer 2 or 3 times, this woman, and you can look it up by Jack Posobiec, who does a lot of work on War Room. He follows, and he's an ex-intelligence agent and intelligence agent, so he follows this. But I mean, she's deep into the color revolution that went on in Ukraine in 2013-14. Like, the lady knows exactly what's going on right there. And you can and the video of her in front of the Senate shows it all, that she does know exactly what's going on in there. That's why she had to admit, yes, about these biolabs, that for 3 weeks the truthers, conspiracy guys, QAnon, were sitting there saying, let me see here. These military strikes were where? And they looked at a map, and they saw where the strikes were happening.
Wow, a map?
A map.
You can look at maps and find places.
It's the map. I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map. So, swiper, no swiping.
No,
is what we're
swiping,
trying
but
to
they
tell
swiping everywhere. They
you
swiping
guys.
everywhere.
Yeah. Look, Putin is not the swiper. Anyway, I digress. I don't want to sound like some pro-Putin guy,
No.
but yet
No,
we're gonna see what happens.
questions.
That's right. We're gonna see what happens.
Look, so
And-
we want to take the time to delve into that a little bit further. But you want to go ahead and play the clip about his side of the argument?
Speaking of, I'm glad you went right to that, Kim. You're a good mind reader, great producer, like I said. But the body language, okay, take the body language from that lady. Y'all look it up. Victoria Newland in front of Senate admitting biolabs. I'm sure it's out there. It might get suppressed pretty soon, so look it up quick.
It's on Twitter. I mean, I know that
Yeah.
for sure.
So look that up. Check her body language out. Now check this guy's body language out as he explains to a reporter of why he's being so aggressive to Ukraine.
Значит, по поводу гарантий и что будет от чего зависеть, будет ли что-то зависеть от хода переговоров. Наши действия будут зависеть не от хода переговоров, а от безусловного обеспечения безопасности России сегодня и на историческую перспективу. В этой связи мы ясно и четко дали понять, что дальнейшее движение НАТО на восток неприемлемо. Ну чего здесь непонятного? Мы что ли ставим ракеты рядом с границами Соединенных Штатов? Нет. Это же Соединенные Штаты со своими ракетами пришли к нашему дому. На пороге нашего дома находятся уже. Ну разве это какое-то избыточное требование? Не ставить больше никаких ударных систем у нашего дома. Ну чего здесь необычного? Вот как американцы бы отнеслись, если мы бы взяли там на границе между Канадой и США или на границе Мексики и США, поставили бы наши ракеты. А что, разве у Мексики и у США не было никогда территориальных вопросов? А Калифорния кому принадлежала раньше? А Техас? Вот забыли, что ли? Ну ладно, все затихло. Никто не вспоминает про это, так как вспоминают сегодня про Крым. Замечательно. Но и мы стараемся не вспоминать о том, что как Украина-то складывалась. Кто ее создал-то? Ленин Владимир Ильич, когда создавал Советский Союз. Договор 22 года союзный и 24 год Конституции. Правда, после его смерти, но по его принципам создан. Значит, вопрос в безопасности. Сейчас Бог с ней с историей. Вопрос в обеспечении безопасности. Поэтому нам важен не ход переговоров, важен результат. Ну разве мы не знаем? Я же много раз уже об этом сказал. И вы наверняка знаете хорошо. Ни одного дюйма на восток, сказали нам в 90-е годы. Ну и чего? Надули. Просто нагло обманули. 5 волн расширения НАТО. И теперь уже, пожалуйста, в Румынии, сейчас в Польше появляются соответствующие системы. Вот о чем речь. Ну поймите же вы в конце концов. Не мы кому-то угрожаем. Мы что ли пришли туда, к границам США? Или к границам Великобритании? Или куда? К нам пришли. И теперь еще говорят, нет, теперь и Украина будет в НАТО. Значит, и там будут системы. Или, бог с ним, не в НАТО, а на двусторонней основе будут. Базы и ударные системы вооружений. Ну вот о чем идет речь. А вы требуете от меня каких-то гарантий. Вы должны нам дать гарантии. Вы. И немедленно. Сейчас.
Now, I know that went on long, but you guys, I hope you sat through that and watched his body language. All right? I hope y'all listened to what he was saying. I mean, the dude might have his own, he might be some KGB, some fake actor or something. I don't know, but what he just said right there, follow that. Follow that. What did happen? Yeah, there was supposed to be a buffer zone right in between EU and NATO and all that with Russia because they got the one world order thing going on. He don't want to be a part of it. He wants a sovereign nation, Russia. He still signed treaties or whatever, I mean, that showed to me some real talk. What did you think?
Well, one thing that's kind of, interesting to me is a lot of people have kind of tended to point out is that Russia isn't wanting the West to be influenced by his country. His country
Good
be
point.
influenced by the West.
Yes.
He's wanting to keep men manly. He's wanting to they're a Christian nation, and he doesn't want the West influence. Now, this is where we get into the asking of the questions. Is he allowing his citizens free will? Is he, giving them rights? Is there a lot of just hate propaganda on him because he's fighting the New World Order and all these global entities. I mean, I, there's just some really big questions out there that even as of recently, it's like things that I want to look into because I'm starting to wake
Right.
up as we're doing this
Hey.
here. And so, you know, I think we're just wanting to ask questions. Like it's not that we're on the side one way or the other, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And you want to know what other side that I'm just particularly on? I'm on the side of human being citizens who are not involved in this in any way. They're not a part of the government. They just happen to live in a
Mhm.
certain country.
Ukraine, Russia, America, all the
And
ones
we're
that
all
are
citizens.
involved.
And I'm excluding people who actually have choices that they can make where this could turn out differently. I'm talking about the citizens of these countries, whether it be Ukraine, whether it be Russia, or whether it be the United
Poland.
States. One thing that has just been bothering me, and it bothers me so much, is when companies are pulling, you know, pay accounts to not be able to use like Apple Pay and Google Pay and ways that you know they're wanting to switch us to a digital system.
Right. And
But
that comes with a new world order. And one point before we do anything, you know, going back to dates being important, okay? This is just something I wanted to throw out there. I mean, I was looking today. I just wanted to know. So Putin is elected president of Russia in 1999. Okay. Now, see, way before I gave a crap about any kind of politics. So 1999. Okay. Well, what happens 2001? 9/11. Okay. There you can look up yourself all the fishy stuff about that. Okay. So we're told. I mean, from his dad, George W. Bush, his dad is out there. You know it. Y'all have probably seen it where he's talking about bringing in the New World Order. And yeah, you can make your argument. Oh, he was talking about just a new, you know, time that we're gonna have or something. Well, whatever. He used those three words, and they've turned into what they are right now. But anyway, 1999 to 2008. Okay, so that's how long he was president there. All right, and then 2012, he gets elected prime minister into Russia. 2013, the color revolution happens right there at his border, Ukraine. Okay, that's when we're looking now. That's where I'm going to start digging. You talked about getting into some research, and you're going to start looking. That's what I want to start looking at is what was going on 2013, 2014. Why is Putin portrayed as bad man? You know, and all my life, me and Kim were talking about this before we hit play or record. Putin's just been bad man to us since we've ever started
Known
watching
about him,
TV.
yeah.
You know, I mean, for one, he's got the funniest last name
I was
you
gonna
could
say that.
ever have. I mean, you know,
Sticks
so
in your brain.
right there, he's written off as goofy in your head. You know, and
And then yeah, he's got his ego. I mean, to be honest with you,
His
he's got
ego.
a lot of traits of Trump where it comes
no
you
shirt,
know,
riding the horse
riding
or
the
whatever.
horse.
It's like-
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, there are a lot of similarities, but in a way, it's just the sign of strength.
Yeah.
You can call it. It's just like everybody getting upset about Trump saying that he's a smart guy. Well, yeah, he's a smart guy.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's if you're going to try to attempt to do what he's trying to do right now, whether it be a good or bad thing, you can't be a dumb person.
And it's
You
not
have
like
to be smart and strategic, and it's just a show of sign of strength. And this is where I say I know that he doesn't allow. This is where I say free will. It's kind of hard to tell if he's giving his citizens free will or not because
Right.
he doesn't allow certain things like let's just say LGBT propaganda. He doesn't want the men in Russia to be
femininated. Femininated.
because it's not. I mean, it's
Well,
just not a sign of strength. And let me tell you, if it's supposed to be a man and a woman, most women that you want to bring home to your mama and want to have a family with and a life with, they are going to be the women that want a manly man.
Well, you know what gets me? The lesbian couples. It's like, here's the man girl, and here's the girl girl. Here's the man. Here's the girl man. Like, it's like when y'all do get y'all same sex going on, you still subconsciously, I guess, go, I need a masculine type figure in my my relationship. Yeah, have you noticed that? Like, there's the tomboy. It's never too just. I mean, I don't want to say never. You know.
Yeah.
But
there are definitely
most of the
exceptions.
time, there's the butch and the girly girl, and then they got the pitcher and catcher for the guy. You know. But anyway, I did want to get to your point about. We're not trying to be like this pro-Russia thing. We're digging here. We're digging. I know that the same people that's been pushing the same crap for 2 years, all of a sudden are going,
switch.
hey, go for Ukraine. And half of the people that weren't listening to him go, yep, including my preacher. I love him to death. But he was sitting there bad-mouthing Putin and praising Ukraine. He didn't know the facts. You know, but anyway, Putin, I want to make these 2 facts and we can move on. And I'm not trying to be pro-Putin, but I want you guys to know this. That country is friendly to Christians. It is one of the only superpowers that does not persecute Christians. It is the only superpower that has never invaded Africa or, you know, purged it for its goods, whatever I'm trying to say. You know, they've never gone into Africa and dug around there. I mean, it's the only superpower that hasn't done that. I'm just saying there is some things that Russia on the global scale have done to not deserve the beat down that the propaganda machine's trying to give them. Yeah, they might have their own propaganda out there. Guess what? America's got a pretty big one too.
Yeah.
You know,
Really
everybody's
can't say
got
a
their
lot.
propaganda machines. But, you know, facts speak volumes. We're coming out with these videos. We're seeing body language. We're seeing history, just recent history, kind of connect a few dots. And, you know, boom, we have educated guesses like we do.
Yeah, and I mean, you want to know how misinformation goes around. It's when people can tell that they are not being told the truth. So your mind's gonna wonder. I mean, it's just human nature. If you know that the people who you're supposed to trust and are told to trust are blatantly lying to you and over and over and over again, that is what wakes people up. Now, it may be
except for
to
war.
where it may be to where it wakes people up so much that it causes them to think even crazier thoughts, which, I mean, if they want to have any kind of advice from me, you need to start actually telling the truth, because when you don't, people start either going way off of the deep end, or they start actually finding out
They're
truth.
gonna come up with
So
their
it's
own
not going to be
truths.
anything good for you,
Yeah.
and it's only going to make your credibility diminish and diminish and diminish. And this is where we are now. We can't. I can't trust anything that I see.
I know.
I really can't. And the funny thing is, I'm not even thinking the people that show me stuff that I find out later to not be true, I'm not going to necessarily disregard anything they say.
Right.
Because some people, it's because it was pushed on them and they believed it.
Yeah.
And even some people that are in bigger media, you know, that are on our side, the alternative conservative media, they still push stuff that they thought was true until they found out that it wasn't. That's
Right.
what's so sad is
Right.
that, you know, you don't know who's pushing it out there to create a narrative and who's pushing it out there because it's being pushed from either the government or the Russian government or the Ukraine government or whoever else is pushing it. And there's just some names. There's some names and some organizations that are one-sided, and they seem to all be in lockstep. I noticed something.
Yeah.
I've been going to a few other websites for different reasons, and it's funny. A lot of their little title things at the top, blue and yellow. I mean, overnight. I mean, a couple of places that I've gone on to for certain things, I checked it. I did that a week ago. It was a week ago, which had just started.
Yeah.
And then they already had all these websites that Ukraine, You know, and of course I get in my email from where GoFundMe wanting to help support the Ukrainian people. I'm going, y'all just turned down people who were fighting against their government, a tyrannical government. They were being oppressed, and they were and you shut them down. How are we supposed to trust you now? I would
Right.
never, ever, once, ever donate to anything that's
sh-
under GoFundMe
They
anymore.
shut down a peaceful protest, but war. Oh man, war.
What is it good for?
It's good for getting the masses in a hissy tissy, because like you were saying about the blue and yellow, man. That's my preacher put that on the screen for our closing prayer. Just had the blue and yellow flag.
Yep.
And one thing I leaned to my wife. I said, "When's the last time that they had the American flag slapped on that big screen right there?"
Right.
And we've been going there for 7, 8 years now, and it was a big fat none. Okay, so this propaganda is taking hold of normies and the ones that actually were listening to the other side. Like I just, it's really taking a hold of some people, and war is the thing that gets it, and they know it, and things have just not changed much in the thousands of years that we've been a civilization.
Very soon people will walk around with biometric sensors on or even inside their bodies, and will allow Google or Facebook or the Chinese government or whoever to constantly monitor what's happening inside my body.
Whole idea that humans have, this, they have this soul or spirit and they have free will, and nobody knows what's happening inside me. So whatever I choose, whether in the election or whether in the supermarket, this is my free will, that's over. We have the technology to hack human beings on a massive scale. New surveillance technologies that are now deployed just to deal with this coronavirus outbreak. When it's over, some governments may say, yes, but there is a second wave of corona coming, so we have to be prepared. And there is Ebola, and there is also regular flu. Why not protect people against that too with this new surveillance system? So the tendency would be to prolong it indefinitely. Also, it's the moment when surveillance goes really under the skin. Governments are now not just interested in where we go and who we meet, but even in what's happening inside our bodies.
And I mean, it kind of makes sense.
Just prolong it.
Was it a Swedish company?
Second wave's coming, baby.
Last year, I think it was a Swedish company came up with that digital chip, the digital passport inside your skin. It was like here, and you can like open doors, and everybody's ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, it could be very convenient, but it can also be very convenient for people who.
It's like, read your Bible, people.
Yeah.
Don't even. I mean, no. I want you to pick it up and read it and take it with faith. Believe that it is true when you do read it. That's a sincere request from me. I would love to see more people pick that book up, open it with a sincere heart, and say, I'm not gonna look for fault in this book because it has withstood the age of time. I mean, it's just withstood all these thousands of years. You can't deny that it has brought enlightenment constantly to this great earth. Okay? Yeah. You can't deny that. So you can't just Bible. You're an idiot if you do that. You are. I'm just gonna say. You are an idiot and a fool if you take that book and just disregard it. No, man. Open it up and look at it. It is talking about that stuff. You can get in theology discussions and arguments about, is it the end times? Are we living through the tribulation? Is it the tribulation? All the tribulation stuff. Scratch that. But, I mean, I lost where I was going with that because I did want to, man, when you talk about my book, baby, it's not my book, but I mean, I want it to be a lot more other people's books. But, go ahead, take that. I was trying to go somewhere with that. about the
If you think
book.
about it, just pop yourself right back on.
Oh, about the chip. You were talking about the chip.
Mm-hmm.
We can keep that then. I mean, it's almost like I mean, wouldn't you even just think about that? Like, if they can get into us and do what dude's talking about, I don't even know that guy. See that, Kim? That's her research again. That's her coming out with these, finding this. You know, I don't know that dude, but I mean, that sounds horrific. I don't know why people would sacrifice convenience for ultimate control. You know,
Yeah, I
mean,
want my freedom more than anything else.
thank you.
I just that's where it makes me nervous with the digital currency and everything becoming digital. Even cars that are becoming digital with computer
Right.
chips and stuff.
Yeah.
Their computer chips, they can eventually make them to where they don't want you to drive. Your car's not drivable anymore.
And I know it comes off as like somebody who's scared of the new technology.
No.
Not at all.
I just know that it can land into nefarious hands, and you got to be vigilant against that. Because I am not walking into a trap.
Yes. We rule. We subdue the earth. Okay? Not who's ever running the digital keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You have already been given a body. You've already been given logic and a mind and freedom to do with it what you will. But I'm not going to hand over that, or pop a chip in there. This body is not going to get controlled by anything other than my Father in heaven.
You need to tell them about the speech that was it the guy over Bayer Medicine that said that they redefined the vaccine, and they started talking about the gene therapy, and they said that if they had asked people, do you want to try this gene therapy, that they wouldn't have gotten a lot of hits on it.
Oh yeah.
But they put it into the technology, into the vaccine. So now, and it's a public speech.
Yeah.
Again, I wish I had it clipped up, but you can find it out there. It's the CEO, I guess, of Bayer Medicine.
Yeah.
Tylenol.
Yeah.
The people that make the medicines that we take every day. These people, like, whether or not he himself was a bad guy, not necessarily saying that, but I mean, think about what you're even saying. It's like you're tricking people into doing that.
Yeah.
And this is the same reason why it just seemed really fishy when everything was being pushed out, even everything that was being made. And it's where you can take something that can help you, and people who want to do wrong with it can do wrong with it.
Right. And now we got the 50,000 page Pfizer evidence, or
the documents.
the documents that came
research.
out. And I mean, they tried to suppress that for 75 years. People, they went to court to try to suppress that from general knowledge for 75 years.
Yeah, so no one here that would be able to remember anything past like maybe 7.
That point
would
right
be able to-
there is like,
that was visual.
why do you
anyway.
not
I'm
want me
so
to see
glad
this?
they
Let me see that.
had
Give me that.
to.
Give me that. Give me that.
But
Boom.
do you
I'm
know
looking
that they
at it.
had that the side effects
Was
that were
like
listed? It was
7
6 pages,
6 pages.
small print, not hardly
Itty
any
bitty.
spacing. There was over 1,000 different side effects from this vaccine, just from Pfizer. So can you imagine Moderna? Because the Johnson & Johnson and Moderna weren't the exact same vaccine.
I mean,
Or at least the Moderna, that was the mRNA, same technology. Can you imagine if just Pfizer's came out like that?
think about that. And think about, 50,000 pages.
Yeah.
You have to think, like, how many people? That's a team of some people. That's a lot of people having to read in certain sections and then get together and brainstorm over what they just read. Like, I don't know, man. I mean, I'd rather get sick and
Yeah.
get the cold and get over it.
And another just crazy thing, since we kind of brought up COVID, it's just something that popped in my mind. I was watching Steve Dace on The Blaze the other day, and our friend Dale Bigtree
Yeah.
from thehighwire.com, he did an interview. I wish I could remember the lady's name. She's a doctor. She's basically the ones that goes and does research for the World Health Organization, and she was a whistleblower because she noticed that getting close to the end of 2020, when a lot of the people were actually gone over Christmas break, she happened to notice this another doctor, a trusted doctor, that was coming out with studies that he had done with ivermectin, and that his trial that he did, they gave them to nurses. So COVID nurses, they gave it to them. And of course, you got to think about nurses. You got some that are very fit and healthy, some of them that aren't, all different backgrounds, all different diets and everything. And they said that they had they had 0 deaths from that. And, he said that, we want to push forward and see how this is going to do. And she started researching it herself. She actually, and she works for the UK.
Yeah.
And she put out a video for multiple organizations, including the Prime Minister himself, asking to release the drug to help patients. And she literally said, I was shocked and surprised that I got no response back from it.
Don't be shocked. If they backlash on Joe Rogan like they did, girl, you ain't got a prayer.
I know. And that's where I say stuff like this. It makes you think. It makes you start thinking. Like, they wonder why nobody trusts them. It's because of things like this.
They don't wonder.
And
they know exactly why.
They do.
Because they know they're lying. They know they're liars.
Oh, they know they're lying. But they think that when they say it in a certain way,
that they
probably
can
know
deceive.
that not everybody will
because
believe
they're
them,
fathered.
blah, blah, blah. And they don't realize how many people are actually waking up. And a lot of this stuff that's coming out, there's so many distractions that it's making everybody think. Wait.
Yeah.
What? I mean,
and I'd like.
Do you know? Hold on. After all this inflation, okay, after everything that's happening with the oil prices, after complaint, and Biden's approval rating dropping again, he proposed a $2.6 billion bill for what was it? Gender equality. Global gender equality or something like that. It's like I'm going, you really think we need this right now?
Yeah, really.
They're
still gonna push that.
$2.6 billion, and I can tell you, dig into that bill.
Yeah, y'all go check out the video that's up under this one. If y'all looking at this one, look at the one up under it to relate back to that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, the LGBT and all that propaganda push.
Yeah.
But we got to look at this as a Renaissance era. We've got to look at this like I was telling Kim earlier. Like, it's a good point. Speaking of Joe Rogan, I saw he was interviewing, and the man he was interviewing brought up the point about the printing press. And if you go back, in the Dark Ages until about the 500 to about 1500, what came out? It was the printing press. Well, this gave the ability to common man to gain knowledge. Books were being printed. For the number one book, and always will be the number one book, the Bible was being printed. Okay? Catholic Church said, the common man does not need to know, can't handle what God's talking about in that book. So anybody out there that's not going by this book and what we claim is the truth and what we tell you and what we give you as truth, if they're not on board with that, we're killing you. We're coming to your village and we're just chopping heads off. That's what they did back then. All right, look it up. Do your own research. Find out how bad the Catholic Church ran the Antioch line of Bible and killed anybody who was putting it out there and making it. Printing press did that. The internet is the new printing press. We now, as common folk, I'm an old Mississippi boy. I can look up on the internet anything I want to. I can research, I can find sources, I can find out, I can pinpoint and use this old noggin up here that the good Lord gave me, and I can find out for myself what the truth is. And that's what's happening right now. That's why, take hold, brothers, be encouraged, because we are coming through a new Renaissance era. We will win this. I think I said that like in the first or second episode. I remember saying that. I just remember feeling that same thing. It was like, we are gonna win this. We are.
Yeah.
Because the truth is not gonna be put on a hill and covered up. The truth is not gonna do that. The Lord did not set it up that way. We will win this, and it is gonna be a Renaissance era. It's gonna be the best is yet to come. And I take that from, I'm not quoting Trump there. I mean, it is really, that's what's coming. Man, we're going to watch these guys go down. They know it. They're scared to death. You can see the fear in not only old Victoria's face, but you can, oh man, it's out there. I can smell the fear coming from these guys, local, everywhere, global. But you got to hold strong. You got to do your research. You got to study to show yourself approved, man.
Yep.
I'm done.
Yep. Hey, y'all. That felt like a revival, man.
Amen.
I mean, sometimes you just got to get it off your chest.
Got to.
Well, you know what? It's that time.
I know, man. We
It's
didn't even
time
get
to go.
get to that. I wanted to show them
No.
that.
Hey, we'll have it
Next
next. We have
episode.
it loaded, ready for next week, because I'm sure it'll be just as relevant next week.
I'm sure it will.
Plus more. Thank you guys for staying tuned. And we will be back hopefully next week, but you will see our video when we will be back. Thank you so much, and we hope you have a great rest of your week.
Yes.
Keep fighting, keep researching, and don't just trust what anyone tells you. Research.
Research. God bless.
God bless you.